Tom Saunders joins us now. Tom, g'day. That's a lot of yellow behind you. So what are the indicators that El Niño is active and how strong could it become this year?
Joe, good evening. Yeah, let's start with the sea surface temperature anomalies. That's what we're looking at here. So this is what the water temperature is compared to average. Now, El Niño refers to warmer than normal waters along the equatorial Pacific. And you can see here, there's this tongue of very warm water in the central and eastern Pacific. Those temperatures are now easily above the El Niño threshold, and they have been for a few weeks actually. But what's now changed over the past week is the atmosphere has responded to this change. So across the Pacific Ocean, we're seeing changes in the pressure pattern, the wind, and also the cloud, and that is why the Bureau have declared El Niño is now underway. Now, global modelling predicts it will become one of the strongest on record, potentially the strongest on record. So this is the Bureau's modelling for those water temperatures for the rest of this year. And it's predicted to climb from about 1 degree above average now all the way up to about 3 degrees above average during spring, and that would be a record El Niño. The good news, though, is a record El Niño does not mean record impacts for Australia, Joe.
Yeah, it's interesting with the discussion around El Niño over the past kind of 20 years or so. Initially, when you'd hear about it, you think, oh, that definitely means like terrible drought and hot and dry weather on the east of Australia. But it's not that certain, is it? It's things aren't locked in because an El Niño is underway.
Yeah, Joe, they are certainly not. And the last El Niño, 2023, is a really good example. We had our driest August to October on record, but then we had heavy rain through November and December. And that's because the Pacific is only one climate driver. For Australia, you've got the Indian Ocean and the Southern Ocean, which are also climate drivers. But generally speaking, this is what's happened during past El Niño events. Winter and spring rainfall is normally below average through the northern, central and eastern parts of Australia. That's winter and spring. By the time you get to summer, even though El Niño is peaking in the Pacific, there is almost no impact historically on Australian rainfall in the summertime. But every event is different. So here is the 3-month outlook for July to September. You can see it's likely it will be drier than normal through much of southern Australia and parts of eastern Australia. But according to the Bureau's modelling, there is really just an even chance of above or below average rain for much of the east coast, and it's even likely to be wetter than normal through parts of the western interior. There are numerous other impacts from El Niño. Typically, you have above average spring and summer temperatures. You also often see above average winter maximums, but because the skies are clear, sometimes you get below average winter minimums. So the impact on temperatures, that lingers longer than the impact on rainfall. You often have a longer fire season, a late monsoon for northern Australia with a reduced number of tropical cyclones and a decrease in the alpine snow depth.
Yeah, but the caveat on all that, I guess, Tom, is, and like you say, nothing's really consistent with it.
It isn't. El Niño is not a forecast. El Niño is an observation. It's simply saying that the waters in the central tropical Pacific are warmer than normal. Exactly how that impacts Australia, well, we're going to have to wait and see.